Hello, everyone. My name is Larry Fisher, and I'm the Director of Communications and Content for UFF Sports. Today's an exciting day for UFF Sports as we'll be auctioning off the 32nd franchise in the Ultimate Fantasy Hockey League, our flagship league. Last chance today to become an original franchise owner and draft your own roster this summer. In July will be the expansion draft, but certainly an exciting day to have the auction that's been going since January 1st culminate today on Monday, March 1st, 2021. And it's also an exciting day because I get the opportunity to give our users and fans a first glimpse of the platform that we'll be working on, that we'll be launching in March. So thanks for tuning in, and you'll now get a sneak peek of what we'll be working with in the weeks and months to come. As you can see here is the homepage for the UFFsports.com. The homepage is a work in progress. It'll be a little bit more exciting when the launch is official. We're kind of doing a bit of a overhaul on it as we speak, but it'll show obviously the number of franchises, number of players, number of scouts, number of fans. There'll be a place that'll show what franchises are for sale, what players are for sale. It'll explain how you play and a lot of other options on the homepage. Back up at the top, working our way left to right, we'll go to the news page. The news page has all of our archived content that we've put out so far. All the articles on primarily the Ultimate Fantasy Hockey League, which was our first league that we launched. We also have the UFAHL, which is mirrors the AHL, one step below the NHL in the professional hockey world in North America. So these articles range from season preview to franchise sales, a number of franchise sales. I think we've had 11 franchise sales since October, anywhere from 2,400 USD to there's some for 1,500. There was another one here for 2,200, the Tornadoes. So we've also done things like preliminary draft rankings. We have a scouting platform, and our scouts have provided draft rankings. We did preseason power rankings, which was interesting to see where the franchises felt how they stuck up amongst the competition. And then if you go down to the bottom, there's an important one. We have Craig Buttons involved in the platform. He's president of scouting for high level scouting. We have been around since January 2020, so we just surpassed our 1-year anniversary, but we've primarily been working from a spreadsheet. And now we are ready to go live here very soon for the official launch. But there's such articles as a mock expansion draft you can check out. See what if you were a potential bidder for the expansion franchise today, you'll get to see the players that are possibly available. And I actually did the article, but I did each of the 31 franchises in the UFHL, the Ultimate Fantasy Hockey League, sort of showcased who I thought they would protect, expose, which players are exempt, and then obviously which players were selected. So really a fun exercise and a good way to see which players will be available for the expansion franchise to select. And if we scroll down to the bottom and then speed her up a bit, we'll see a bit of the roster there. So you can see some of the selections I had. If you're a hockey person, you'll recognize a lot of those names. Strong on defense, really strong in goal was sort of the general theme of that version of the expansion draft. But certainly there'll be 10 plus choices to choose from every franchise, essentially. So you'll have lots of opportunity. Going back to the new platform, which everybody's probably seen the news on our old website, UFFsports.com. There will be league pages. So there will be a couple different league pages here for the UFHL and the UFAHL. It looks like they may not be activated at the moment, but rest assured there will be league pages. This page is franchises, so it shows all the franchises under the UFF Sports banner, and you basically just you can sort them by league, or you'll be able to sort them by league. This obviously has the UFAHL mixed in with the UFHL, but we can show one off here. We got Jesse Gill, the owner of the Brutes. Jesse participated in the redraft, drafted his roster on July 10th, 2020, and he owns 44 players. So if you go to the Brutes roster, you can obviously become a fan if you want to cheer for the Brutes. Got a pretty cool logo. They're based in Medicine Hat, Alberta. But here you can see all the players for the Brutes. So obviously franchise players, Sidney Crosby, and kind of work your way down through the forwards. And then you can see he's got some goaltenders: Philip Grubauer, Shea Weber, Duncan Keith, some big names on defense, as well as a number of prospects. Obviously, being a deep fantasy league, every franchise has several prospects as well. They have a 27-man protected list, which mirrors the NHL. So if you go to the top and you want to see Sidney Crosby, who, if you're a hockey fan, you know who Sidney Crosby is, bring this up. It has all his career stats, his vitals, all his statistics, and you can kind of go through and see what Sidney Crosby's been up to in his career. And this is viewing it as a fan. So again, you can go to franchises. It'll show you all the different franchises and the players that they own. Again, we do have scouts. Scouting platform is a huge part of the UFHL and UFF Sports in general, which will be expanding to every pro sport, and as well as amateur or minor and junior leagues and amateur sports. So you'll be able to scout in any sport that you like. But here we have the scouts, and they're listed. We have 35 scouts registered on the platform as of today. And obviously, we all know Craig Button, so maybe we can start there with high-level scouting. If you're a hockey fan, you know Craig Button, former NHL general manager, Stanley Cup champion, proud owner of a Stanley Cup ring. You look at some of the prospects his agency has. As far as already drafted prospects, a lot of kind of guys that are a bit under the radar, no huge stars there, because a lot of the already drafted prospects have obviously been sold to franchises. Craig Button's high-level scouting is affiliated with Duckman's Domination franchise, so they've purchased a lot of the high-end prospects, but you can see who he's got there. If you go into draft prospects, gets a little bit more exciting. He's got guys like Jesper Wallstad and Fabian Lysell, a couple good Swedes for the 2021 draft, whenever that takes place in the NHL. But you can obviously click on Jesper Wallstad and much the same. You got his vitals, his statistics, right up until this season, and you can see he's doing really well in the SHL in Sweden with a 926 save percentage. So looking like a potential top 10 pick, or certainly a top prospect for Craig Button's agency. As well, beyond that, one cool thing about our platform is a lot of fantasy leagues have, well, no fantasy leagues have scouts, but a lot of fantasy leagues have the draft for that year's draft class. But we take it one step further at UFF Sports, and we allow for future scouting. So scouts can list players, register players 2 years in advance, or technically 3 years in advance of their NHL draft year. So they were already able last August to start bidding on and purchasing and registering players for the 2023 draft class. So if you scroll down to the future players, you can see who Craig Button identified obviously as a big name prospect, and Shane Wright, who's sort of the favorite, or 1-2 with Brad Lambert to go first overall in the 2022 NHL draft. So a couple years away, but he's obviously a high-end talent, and could be a very profitable guy to own on this platform in the years to come. And certainly you're able to, as a scout, you can make scout-to-scout trades. You can buy and sell within the scouting community. And as a fan, you can obviously follow along the action. So that's how the scouts work. Here we just have players, which allows you to sort them by all the different player types. So obviously this is listing them by all, but we'll have active player, pro player, prospect, draft prospect, future, retired, legend players, which is really cool. That'll be obviously the cream of the crop. The prestigious retired players will be labeled legend players, and we'll be able to play in legends leagues in the future. For example, we can do this. We can go up here in the search bar. You could go McDavid, and there would show you Connor McDavid, who's owned by the Yetis in the UFHL. So much the same. You got your player profile there. And so players has all the different players. You can search by status. You can also search by, or you will be able to search by franchise, by scout, and all the rest. Over here in Marketplace, as a fan, you will be able to view the franchises that are for sale, the players that are for sale, and you'll be able to view the transactions of the league. So these are just, they're not actual transactions. They were just put in as a test, but you could see what it would look like if there was trades and whatnot, and signings, registrations. So that's how the transactions will work. You'll be able to search by scout, by franchise, by league, obviously the Ultimate Fantasy Hockey League, the UFHL, as well as the UFAHL. And again, we're going to do every sport soon enough, and that'll all be under Marketplace for fans to follow along. Now, as a fan, you would click register and you'd enter in your information and sign up right there. Easy as that. We'll do a quick run through on a sign in. We'll go with a franchise first, show you what some of the franchises can do. These are always tricky. This one doesn't look too bad today. I'm assuming they're going to count those bottom two as a fire hydrant. Maybe not. Let's try this again. Traffic lights. There we go. Sign in. So once you're in as a franchise owner, you'll have your dashboard here. So you'll have your account, your transactions and notifications. If there's offers on your franchises or your players, your personal trade block, your franchises that you own, because you can own a franchise in every league, and the players that you own. Something you'll want to do, because it's obviously on the blockchain and the cryptocurrency platform, is we're going to have our own currency. It's going to be the score coin. Shortened form is SCO. So you're going to need money in your wallet. So you're going to want to go to buy SCO, and you're going to want to enter in the amount you want to buy and purchase it. Obviously, we're on the Zilliqa blockchain, so the examples are in Zil, but on the platform, all transactions will take place in our currency, which will be SCO. You'll buy it up there, and you'll be able to view it here in your wallet. Again, deposit, withdraw. It'll be easy as that, as far as being able to convert it back to fiat money, to USD or Canadian dollars, or wherever you're located. That'll just be between your wallet and buy SCO back and forth. Once you're signed in as a franchise, obviously, we're as the demo franchise right now, but say we wanted to make an offer on Aaron Ekblad. So you just, okay, so saying I don't own any players as the demo franchise, but if I did, you could make an offer there, or you could do a trade here. So he's owned by the UFHL's West Coast Express, which is Aaron Bell and Brandon Kohinski. If you went to a trade, it would be as simple as that. And there's also going to be a trade block for franchise owners, which will show the players you have offered, your needs, your comments, and whether or not you want to make offers on players. And vice versa, that when you're a franchise, you can go to a scout and you can buy both pro and prospect players from scouts. So you can't buy those futures. They have to come up and go through their NHL draft and be NHL property before they can be UFHL property. But if you were going to Craig Button, again, we'll use him as the example. If you wanted Aiden McDonough, you would be able to make a financial offer down here, a bid on Aiden McDonough. Again, it would be in score coin, and you would make a bid. And if Craig Button thought it was enough money, he'd sell him to your franchise. That's how that would work. We'll log out as a franchise owner, and we'll log back in as a scout and show you a little bit of differences there as to how the scouting side of the platform will work. Holy, they're not making these any easier. Boats. Let's try that. There we go. First time. So again, much the same as a scout. You'll sign in. You'll have your dashboard. So it'll have your account, your transactions, player offers. So you own players, obviously, as a scout. You don't own a franchise, but you own players. And franchises from all leagues, all levels, will be making offers on your players. You'll have a trade block because, again, within the scouting community, you can do scout-to-scout trades. And not only franchises will be making player offers, but scouts will as well. If a player's trending up and another scout identifies him, he can make an offer to you, a financial offer or a trade offer, prospect for prospect. So there's a lot of gameplay for the scouts within the scouting community, which is going to be a lot of fun. And certainly there's that development window, because you'll be able to register the prospects as young as 15 years old. So in their WHL Bantam draft year, if you're a hockey fan, you'll know the WHL Bantam draft, but 15 years old, and then you'll be able to transfer them to a franchise at the NHL draft year, or after they're through their draft class. So once they're NHL property. So that will work really neat. You kind of have that 3-year development window to trade, buy, sell prospects, scout to scout, before the franchises get involved. Certainly once we have WHL and CHL leagues and junior leagues around the world, then those junior franchises will lease your players on their way to making it to the NHL. So you'll be able to have some revenue streams coming in from all your players at all times. Register new player. This will be the go-to spot for scouts. You'll click register new player. For the sake of it, we'll just show you what it would look like if you registered Wayne Gretzky. Can't currently register legends, not until the legends auction takes place, which will likely be a year away, perhaps. But if you were to register Wayne Gretzky, you type in his name. Once it shows up here, you'd click him. There he is. You would just change his status, obviously, to legend player. And you'd register him accordingly. Down at the bottom, there will be a register button instead of save. And up here in the top right corner, there will be a register button as well. But that gives you an example. I'm trying to think of some young guys that maybe aren't registered yet. But obviously, any prospect I'll use this kid as an example. I used to work for his dad, a really nice guy, Jason Tansom here in Kelowna. Seth Tansom could be one of the top picks in the upcoming Bantam draft. He's a top prospect. So in this case, you'd have to select Canada as his country, or it should come up here. And then he would be a future player because he's only 15 years old. He'll likely be part of our futures auction for the Scouts this summer, but here you can see where he's playing and the numbers he's putting up. But expect to hear more on that name, Seth Tansom, in the coming years. He's a top prospect at 15 for a defender. Probably plays a little bit like a Tyson Barrie or somebody like that, sort of an undersized defenseman, but really offensive minded. So Scouts will go register new player and they can register whoever they want. The rest of the site is essentially the same for Scouts. Scouts can't buy players from franchises, but they certainly can from scout to scout as well as trade. So again, if they're in here, they could go to Craig Button. If I'm a scout and I wanted to buy Shane Wright off him or make a trade offer. Let's see here. Not sure why that didn't go. Craig Button, there we go. Here we go. So yeah, if you're at Craig Button and you like Shane Wright, you want to purchase Shane Wright, you can trade for him. And at the bottom, you'll be able to make a financial offer. So whatever you think he's worth, you can, again, same thing, submit the bid and purchase that future player, or you could trade a number of prospects with some SCO currency to acquire Shane Wright. So that is pretty much what we're working with here at UFF Sports, a future home of UFF Sports, and the platform that we'll be working with for the UFHL and all the rest. And same thing here. So you go to players on sale. Right now, there's no players on sale, franchises on sale, because as a scout, you can't be a franchise owner, but you could purchase a franchise and sell your scouting assets to another scout. So as a new user, you would be coming in as a fan and you would want to register or sign in if you're already a member. And the site looks much the same. There are features that you can use, certainly if you're already logged in as a scout or a franchise owner. But hopefully that gives you a good rundown of what the future of UFF Sports is like. And obviously, like I said, very exciting with the 32nd franchise selling today, the last chance to be an original owner in the Ultimate Fantasy Hockey League. So hopefully you like what you've seen here in this tutorial or this sneak peek of the UFFS platform. And hopefully it'll result in a few extra bids, or certainly the bidders will have a physical product to know what they're bidding on and what it's going to look like in the weeks and months to come once this platform launches. So thanks for tuning in. And my name's Larry Fisher with UFF Sports.